get out of spring healthy is the first goal, and I think we did. A little bit of a scare with B.J. Edmonds, but he came back, bounced up, and finished up real well and looked good at the end. We held a few guys out to make sure that we didn't put them in harm's way. I thought the defensive energy was better than the offenses today. Probably our worst day productivity-wise offensively, just in terms of throwing and catching and protectionally. We didn't do a very good job. Good to see us finish up at the end with some productive plays. Biggest thing for them, we didn't turn the ball over. That's where it's going to start. And I think there's going to be some ugly days at times where we got to kind of overcome it. Really pleased with the way Armand Weiwei's running the ball. I think he's been one of the biggest bright spots for us offensively. We didn't particularly throw and catch the ball well today. We have all spring, so that was kind of a letdown because we've had guys make catches and big plays every day and just didn't have those until the very end today. But and that's something I feel good about going into the season. That's not as big a concern, but we got to play more consistently offensively. You know, defensively they're going to tell you they won't turnovers and they didn't get them today, but at the same time I do think we've made progress. We're going to need some guys over the course of the summer that get here to add to our depth and maybe potentially fight for some spots that will help us. I think we got the most significant help coming to our football team will be on the defensive side of the ball. But all in all, it's been a good spring, and we have improved, and we've had some guys that have grown up a little bit. I really think the summer is going to be important for us. So we got to become more consistent, and up front we got to find the 5 guys that are going to play. We haven't found that yet, and that's going to probably bleed on into fall camp a little bit, and that'll be our first challenge offensively. Defensively will be the back end. You know, those corner spots are going to have to solidify.
Who jumped out at you besides Weiwei?
Offensively, he was the main guy really that did. You know, I didn't think, like I said, I didn't think we had a great day offensively. I mean, we didn't turn it over, but just too many. I don't know, the timing was off and really not a lot of tempo. And I just thought a little bit of just energy was low. I thought defensively, all in all, I thought the corners played better than they have. Both Biner and Jeremy Smith made some plays in some one-on-one situations. I thought the front, the defensive line, for the most part, controlled the pass game, and the rush was good. And I'm sure it was. I mean, William Bradley Kings looked good all spring, and we held Bingham out because and he's had a great spring. Tape will tell. Well, those are the guys that jump out initially.
If you had to give out grades, whether it's units or players, what were some of those grades you could give out?
I'd just say it's a below average day offensively, just because of the energy level and there was no continuity. Hard to say defensively. Still probably gave up too many big plays, especially late. I thought they bottled us up all day and then gave up a couple of big plays late. A couple of big plays early, but in the middle, I thought they controlled most of the scrimmage, so probably above average. Hard to say without watching tape. There's probably some things that are better than we thought, probably some things that were worse than they thought. That's typically how film goes.
When I said grades, I should have been more clear. More in the spring, like if you had it, since you're kind of wrapping up now.
No, I've been really pleased. I think we've had good, solid work. They've come ready to work every day. This has not been a group that we've had to challenge, or it's not a group we've been frustrated with in terms of effort level and attention to detail. I think we have grown up and we've been more disciplined and more accountable. We are inexperienced at some spots and we're thin at some spots, and it showed. We've had to move some guys around on the front, and it showed today. But all in all, I think it's been a really good spring. We've had plenty of live work, more than we normally have, so it's been physical, and we've stayed healthy. And those, you put those together, you're holding your breath every day. So in that sense, we got good physical work for 15 days, and we came out of it healthy. And it's a good building block for moving forward to summer and fall camp. Not very good. I mean, and I haven't looked at stats and I haven't watched it, but I just didn't feel like we did anything very effectively offensively. We obviously got in the end zone a couple times and got some points, but not nearly what we're capable of. And we didn't game plan it. We just called plays and just wanted to see how they responded. So I think to some degree there's times we're probably not running great plays into great looks, but really wanted to see how they respond. And I thought it started with our energy level offensively. It's got to be better. When we're having a day that's a little off, or the energy level's not there, got to see somebody pick that up, and just didn't see that, really happen. And we've always gotten that. And today, in the sense of that, it was really disappointing until the very last couple of drives where I thought we kind of hit a click and we kind of hit a spark.
Would you assess Hanson's play today?
Hard. He didn't turn the ball over. I thought he made good decisions. It was not a great day. I mean, obviously moved the change with his feet. Hard to tell. It's a two-hand touch scenario with the quarterbacks. I don't know how many times he got out and how many times he didn't. Mainly for me, he's thrown one interception in 15 practices. and we throw it a lot. That's where it starts. He's not put the ball on the ground. He is in control of what's going on, and he's making good choices. It didn't show, I think, statistically today, but he's playing really good, solid football. The stats will come, which I'm not worried about stats. I'm just winning. But in terms of a spring and where he's at, very pleased with where he's at and really confident in where he's moving going into the season.
You already talked about the defense's energy. Like, who's the spark plug there for that unit?
I think the guy that they feed off, even though he didn't scrimmage today, was Bingham. He and Jay Clough are the leaders of the defense, hands down. You get sparks out of Will Bradley King's energy level. Christian Howard is just full of energy all the time. It just, I don't know. I think it's kind of infectious over there. And we got to find that same on offense. We've had it at times because you got some guys that love to play. It just didn't show today like it has in all of our other practices. We've had tons of energy and bounce on the offensive side today. It was just a little bit down. I think we didn't get off to we got off to a great start. We went right down and scored in the first series, but then we got a letdown. And maybe that's more of what it was today. We had a little bit of letdown after you go down and have a great series. And we can't have that. I mean, it's a long game.
Spring game Trooper talks a lot of smack, and it
He
looks like
talks
the
all the time.
It looks like the defense feeds off it. I mean, it can be a little more fun out here, but I watched them and I watched him just throwing one-liners out there, and you could see their body language. Did they just kind of like the Pied Piper follow his lead?
Well, that's one of the things he brings to the table that few people can do. I mean, a lot of people try to, but it's just natural for Troop. He's always that way. He's been that way since I've met him at Baylor. That's why you kind of gravitate towards him. He drives you crazy at times. I mean, that's how he is 24/7, not just on the sideline. It's how he is in the staff room and everywhere else you go. But it's what makes Trooper unique. There are very few, if any, like him. We're fortunate to have him, and that's one of the things. You're right. He does bring it. If there's anything about the sideline that is low key, and he's able to raise that for the offense and the defense. And just so happens, when we split up, the offense is on the other side, and so you lose some of that energy level. But it's one of the things that makes him who he is, and it's just something that people can't try to. You could try to simulate it and beat, but it's not going to be the same. It's genuine with him. That's Trooper Taylor.
You talked about William Bradley King, Dejon Emery, Christian Howard, both had good days.
Yeah, no doubt. I think our edges have been good all spring, and like I said, they feed off Bingham and kind of the standard that he's created, and those guys all play at a high level as well. I thought they owned both the edges for most of the day today, and we got Atnip at tackle for the first time. He's played 2 days of tackle, and it showed today. I did think Nordine stepped in and did better. A little bit surprised. I thought LA gave up a couple plays on the left side. I don't know if there was a bus or just bad technique. We'll have to watch, but could have been some communication problems up front. I don't really know, but we tried to keep it simple just to see how guys responded. And like I said, it was just too inconsistent.
John, it looks like he just shows big playability.
Yeah, he does. And we've got several of those guys. Didn't all show today, but it has over the course of the spring. We've gotten those plays out of Mac. We've gotten those plays out of Bubba and Dahu. They didn't all have them today. It's a great group. I think the good thing about it is we can throw any number of those combinations out there. I mean, Omar may have quietly had the best spring of any of those guys. It's hard to say. And so we're fortunate that it's not just one deep, and we really have 2 and 3 deep at each one of those spots, which if we're going to play fast and get a lot of snaps, it's going to take a lot of guys to do it. Jay had, showed up again today. He's just great at the point of attack. He's starting to play with confidence. He did not at any point during the season. He just didn't know what to do. He's starting to play with confidence, and that allows you to go cut loose and really go after the ball. Anybody else?